Hello all and welcome to a new video. Today is going to be a very quick one. Now, as you are hopefully all aware, Flight Simulator 2024's beta for Sim Update 4 is now available. As always, the Career and the Challenge League are separate versions, so don't expect anything to carry over. You will need to sign up to the Insider program to make sure that you can join it. Now, the changes, we can have a look at those. There are quite a substantial number of changes as always, so let's have a look at the changes. Okay, so as we can see, there are ridiculous ones. One of the standout ones for me that I'm quite excited about is the fact that they do have VR now rendering just one of your eyes, so it makes it actually more likely that I'll record some VR footage. And there is apparently some sort of things to do with installing the community folder in a separate area, which I've never heard of before, to be honest, but yeah, that's something to think about. Airbus Helicopters gets a reworked electrical system. I'm not too sure that was the main issue with the H125. I think it maybe just needed a bit of a tweak to the flight model, to be honest. Boeing 737 gets floating flares removed, performance optimizations, and a few different things to do with the flight path. I maybe need to test that one out, see what it's like. The Boeing F-18, really not too much going on there. A few things for the Canadair. The Gumball G2s, just changing tweaks for the lighting and stuff like that, so nothing really too major there. Heart Aerospace gets a cargo door fix, yeah. So some of these things are, you know, pretty basic looking general quality of life fixes for some aircraft. Now there are some differences when we apologies. When we look at, like, you know, physics, etc., so you're getting full inertia tensor used in aircraft rotation modelling. So maybe the flight model for some of these aircraft is going to be a little bit better, if I'm reading into that correctly. I don't really know exactly, to be honest. Apparently, though, actually, one of the things I did like, though, is the EFB. So it's going to align to the flight. Like, you know, when you open it, first of all, it's not going to, like, have the aircraft just flying off and you need to manually recenter it, I think, by the looks of it. So that actually is quite a nice quality of life. Now, it's not a huge change by any stretch of the imagination, but it's something, I guess. Yeah, so there's quite a lot of changes for the EFB. Changing the zoom of the map while using the mouse wheel to scroll no longer causes the map to unfollow the airplane. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been so annoying for so long. Pathing of the VFR pattern's been changed. Character rendering. Right, so IVAR registration, compile behaviour. No idea what that means. Zoom behaviour on the map so that perceived zoom does not change as the centre of the map moves around. I don't know what map they're specifically referencing there. ATC has VOR and NDB station altitudes to the facility listener. So I'm assuming we're going to be getting some expanded options for the ATC to do with voice operated radio and NDB, but who knows. After back on track, that's cool. And sometimes pushback failing due to ground service is not correctly initialized. Okay, so that's alright, but unless you use the toolbar pushback thing, which completely avoids that. Weather presets. Remove snow from some missions. Parasite Grame. What is a Grame? Not too sure. And a few other kind of general things. Alright, so nothing too bad. Search and rescue, hoist, cabin service stay back on track. Okay. Rescue stuck. So some changes to the career mode missions, which is alright. I mean, there's nothing huge in there by the looks of it. Trailing traffic from CT. Okay. World. Clouds potentially have different origins when starting flights from the same position. So they maybe have changed like the clock for when the clouds are starting potentially. So that might mean that that helps with the multiplayer cloud sync issues. Crash and tree generation. And quite a few changes to some airports here, so terraforming issues for some specific ones. Egaz Airport deleted. Right, okay, it's apparently a thing. And some have changed their names. Okay, so a few changes around that. Air traffic doesn't seem really much in a change. Yep, multiplayer, nothing really changing there. Virtual reality though is the thing that I was... You know, I have a VR, I've got a Quest 3, and it is nice to fly. However, it is terrible to try and record because you have to crop and have one tiny screen, and there are some external stuff you can use for it, but like, no thanks. It should have been there by standard, okay? So right, we'll get to that, but full V80 rendering scale to the graphics settings, that's quite handy to be honest. Replacing the full 2 eyes view on desktop monitor with a single cropped 16.9 view. Perfect, that's all we ever needed, and the good thing about that is, now I can record VR. I think. Anyway, we'll see what happens. It might not be that great, but we'll have to wait and see. Fixed cockpit LODs unaffected by VR LOD factor. Okay, so maybe makes the screens a bit more readable potentially. And yeah, okay. That's about it really for most of the changes. There's some other things. Collision and crouching automatically. Yeah, cool, that's fine. Didn't really care about that too much to be honest. This panel button cannot be reopened. Yep, fine. And then the rest is a lot of like development kit stuff. Right, so looking good so far. We'll give it a try and we'll see how it goes. Now, let me know what you think of the Sim Update 4 beta. Were you excited for it, as I was and have been waiting for ages? Or are you indifferent? However, I'm going to go and give that a try, so if you want to see some more flight sim videos coming up, then just remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll see you for some future videos. Bye.